Oh, yeah, it's not every day you get to close your great boxing career with a happy ending. We'll see that Saturday, October 18th, the Barclays Center, the final fight in the 18-year exceptional career of one Danny Swift Garcia and DSG. You get to be promoter, headliner. A lot of times we're pushing people out of the sport. How does it
Yeah,
feel to control your own destiny for the final walk?
it feels great. It feels great. I built a great legacy at the Barclays Center for this my 10th fight there. And I always told everybody, I want to go out like a boss. I want to go out promoting my own fight, have my fighters on the undercard, and then obviously go out with my hand raised. So that's the most important thing for me is besides all that stuff, that's great. That's all the dream come true. But the most important thing for me on October 18th is to go out with my hand raised. And that's all I'm working hard on.
Yeah, this will be a pay per view event that the fans can stream live on millions.co. It's going to be you in the main event against Danny Gonzalez and plenty of names on that undercard, including fighters under your Swift Promotion stable there. What is that juggle like between being fighter and promoter at the same time?
It's fun because I know all the fighters. So my head was like, look, let's get this guy on. Let's get Gabi on. Let's get Joey on. Let's get Christian Cangelusi, my guy. Let's put Quincy Williams. Let's put all Lefty Gonzalez. He's from Brooklyn. So it was fun. It was kind of fun making all the matches and just giving those guys a platform to perform at a high stage. Those guys are super excited to be fighting at the Barclays Center. That's a lot of people's dream come true to
No
fight
doubt
at the
about it.
Barclays Center.
Yeah, I mean, and as you mentioned, that's the building you opened back in 2012 on a Showtime packed card in which you took on the legend, the Hall of Famer Eric Morales for the second time. I've been to Barclays over the years for so many fighters who kind of claim that arena, got the big pops, whether it was an Adrian Broner, Tank Davis, Deontay Wilder. But I always felt like when it was Danny Garcia night, when he came out with the purge mask,
Yeah.
maybe it was a little bit different, that pop in the arena. Do you sort of take pride that that has been your building?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like the atmosphere is different when I fight there. Like I said before, there's not like a Danny Garcia show at the Barclays Center. And October 18th, I feel like it's gonna be another electrifying night for me and my fans.
Well, let's talk about your opponent, Danny Gonzalez, who at the initial press conference, I mean, he was slinging one-liners. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's not here to lose. He's not a handpicked guy. He's coming to win, which you would expect. But
Right.
he's talking a little junk on top of that. What
Yeah.
what do you make of the challenge that you're up against in Gonzalez?
One thing I learned, you can never out talk a New Yorker.
It's true. Yeah.
They're the best talkers in the world. So, he's doing what he got to do to settle fight. But I feel when it comes October 18th, he's never been in there with somebody like Danny Garcia. So once he starts feeling those punches and feeling what I bring to the table, I think his whole mindset's going to change. And I know he's coming to fight, but I'm preparing for whatever he brings to the table. And I'm going to get this knockout, get this KO.
Well, he's been questioning whether you still got that power. I mean, I thought power was the last thing to go.
Right.
Danny, are we going to see the famed left hook? You know, the right hand of the body, the left hook over the top.
Yeah, for sure. That's the game plan. The game plan is laying those big punches. And I know he said I didn't get a KO in a long time, but I only had 3 or 4 fights in the last 6 years. So, and you got to look at the people I fought. I mean, Spence, Lara, Benavidez. These are guys who never been stopped or anything. Durable champions who's been around for a long time. So, when you fight at that level, it's hard to get knockouts. But I knocked a lot of champions out, and come October 18th, I'm gonna knock him out.
Yeah, yeah. You won titles in two divisions, former unified champion 140. You've done certainly a ton of big things. In staying on that theme, I know this isn't, your Hall of Fame induction or your, give me a speech on what your career means, but you've got to feel like, and maybe you don't think about this until the end, you got to feel like you've put together one of the better careers in the past 15 years in this sport. How would you try to sum up what your contributions have been to boxing?
Oh man, I feel like I had a hell of a career, and I think my father, Angel Garcia, for being on my side. I think Al Heyman for getting me all those big fights. I fought 14 world champions, 10 fight at the Barclays Center. Not many fighters could say they have a home where they can go home and fight. and Brooklyn adopted me. Like I said, I won two divisions, 4-time world champion, Ring Magazine champion. So, I feel like I put a lot of work in, and I fought the best, nothing but the best, and that's what boxing's all about. Win, lose, or draw, I fought the best. I won some, I lost some, but at the end of the day, I'm still standing.
I mean, that is the best reputation to have, that in your era, no matter what, you fought everybody you could. And whether it was 140 or 147, you were obviously in a deep, star studded, fantastic era. But the thing I love about your legacy, Danny, is you weren't necessarily like the number one draft pick, fighter when you were coming up in the promotional game. You had to earn it the hard way back when you were with Golden Boy. You had to be the B fighter or the underdog before you became this well-paid, well-known athlete. How much did that underdog spirit carry you throughout your career?
That's a good question. I feel like in my heart, I feel like I was never the underdog. Because in the amateurs, if you go to 2006, when I won the U.S. national championships, remember in the amateurs, you can't handpick.
Sure.
You got to fight the best every single day. And I was the number one amateur. But for some reason, when I just turned into the pros, I guess I went under the radar, where it was like I wasn't a hype. So when I came out and I beat Matthysse, and then I beat Khan, and I beat Matthysse, and I'm beating everybody, they're like, where the hell did this kid come from? I just didn't get that superstar push from the beginning. I had to earn it, and I think that's why I got the underdog look, and that's why I fought every single body they put in front of me, not because for the money. I simply thought I was better, and that's why I fought everybody because I knew I could beat them. It just and this is how I always thought.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier the impact that your dad, Angel Garcia, has had on your career, on your life. I mean, look at us as boxing fans and media. Maybe we're sad that this is the last fight for you because it's the last fight maybe that we see Angel in this capacity. I mean, there must have been times where you're like, "Yo, Dad, you got to dial it back through the years." I remember the Judah fight, man. He gave
Yeah.
us a lot to talk about. But like, how proud are you of what he has accomplished as a trainer in your corner throughout this run?
I'm very proud of him. We started this journey together. We're gonna finish this journey together. I saw my dad. He put a lot of. I mean, he lost his jobs. He almost lost his marriage. He almost lost his. Lost his like the cancer. Had a stroke. I didn't see him go through everything, and no matter what he went through, he always showed up to the gym. That's how much he loved it. So he sacrificed a lot to be here. We both did. So I'm very proud of him.
One of the great characters, obviously a smart man, a great trainer, but one of the great characters that we've come to know over the years. Is there anybody in your great career, Danny, that you didn't fight that you still like, damn, that should have happened?
I would always I would have loved to fight like Mayweather or Pacquiao.
Sure.
I think because those are the biggest names and the legends. So I always wanted to test my skills against, like a legend like that. But I didn't get the chance to, but I fought hell of a fighters and champions in my time.
Well, I want to ask you quickly about a couple of these greatest hits of your career and just sort of get what's the first thing that jumps out to you. Look, when you stopped Amir Khan, that really put you on the map in so many ways because that was the point where we were looking at him as the next big thing. July 2012 in Las Vegas. What's the first thing you think about with that fourth round TKO win?
Man, I remember when I hit him with that left hook, boom. And I go to swing it again. And I'm like, where the hell is he? And he was on the floor. I was like, oh shit. I remember that. And then I remember after I beat him and I'm walking back to the locker room, and it was like, man, I really did this. Like you really can do anything you put your mind to because I was such a heavy underdog. Like no one thought I was gonna win. And when I did it, it just took my confidence and it took my confidence to a whole nother level. And I think that's why I really made that run at 140.
And he looked good before you got to him in that fight too. I mean, you got to give him credit. That hand speed was ridiculous, but your timing ultimately won out in that fight. A great performance.
No, he's definitely one of the best fighters I ever fought. Even though I stopped him, but he was like one of the fighters where I felt like I was a step behind. And I really never felt like that before into that. So he was definitely a great fighter.
All right, fast forward another year, the fall of 2013, the co-main to Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, still one of the biggest pay-per-views we've ever seen. But everybody counted you out against a red-hot Lucas Matthysse. We saw some of the best rants Crazy Angel Garcia ever
Yeah.
had ahead of that fight. But that has to mean a ton to you, your performance. You bit down on the mouth guard. You showed your boxing skills. How, is that the number one fight in your mind of the thing you're most proud of that you accomplished?
It's definitely up there, but I already beat the odds when I fought Khan, so it was like, okay, here we go again. And the reason why Angel was so upset is because I was the Ring Magazine champion at that time. And at that time, they put Matthysse leading into the fight. They put him on the front cover.
Ooh.
So my father was like, "What the hell? Like, this is a disrespect. He's not even the champion. You're the champion." They put him on the ring, and that's why Angel was just so upset at everybody because they just kept disrespecting me, and that's why he went on that rant. So a lot of people don't know that. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
that was.
I'll never forget no Argentino Valentino, whatever that means. I'll
Oh
never
yeah,
forget it.
yeah. He was just crazy. Pops was saying anything, but yeah, that's why he was so upset. But yeah, that was a great victory. That was another one. I remember after that fight, I couldn't even hold my belts because my arms were so tired, just from like the punishment of the fight. He broke my eardrum and everything. So that was
Damn.
definitely a crazy
I
fight.
mean, to his credit, he was a monster for a reason. Did you have any doubt heading into that fight?
I knew I had a great chin, so I wasn't. I was like, man, like, dang, because he was just icing people. Like he knocked out Michael Dallas from one punch, then he knocked out Lamont Peterson with one punch, and Lamont Peterson's a hell of a fighter.
Sure.
So when he hit him with one punch and knocked him out, I remember Showtime put the camera right on my face, and they was like, "You're next." But I knew I could beat him when I watched him fight Humberto Soto. I'm like, he can't beat me. I just kept watching that fight over and over, and I knew that he couldn't beat me.
Great moment. I got to ask you about that 2014 Rod Salka fight. I mean, it may be your nastiest KO you ever scored, but that was a time where like media fans were like, yo, what's going on here? Was that hard for you to go through that whole sequence with that fight?
I just went from being the underdog to nobody believing in me to beating world champions and then do one fight and then I was called a cherry picker. So you just never know what the fans think, or you never know how people are gonna look at you. That's what I learned at it. Like you could think people are gonna love you, or you're gonna be beloved, or you don't know how the world's gonna look at you once you hit the masses. And that's one thing I learned that fight. I'm like, look, you can't control how people look at you. So I gotta embrace everything, whatever comes my way, I'll just accept it and just keep going.
Another big performance and a great finish right there. Let me ask you quickly about this 2018 welterweight fight in Las Vegas against Brandon Rios. Also, this ninth round stoppage has to be up there where you proved your power at welterweight, one of your best stoppages, but it was coming off that thriller with Keith Thurman that you nearly pulled off the backdoor decision there. Did
Yeah.
you feel like you had to make a statement in that fight?
For sure, for sure. I remember when I lost to Thurman, I was so sad. It just felt like there was a death in my family, and I didn't fight for a year after that because leading into the fight, I told Al that I wanted to take a year off after that because I just need to rest my brain and everything. But I thought I was gonna have a year of being a unified champion. I didn't think I was gonna be a year of coming off the short end of a loss. But I remember it was just like a big weight lifted off my shoulders when I knocked him out, and it felt good.
And for being known for your left hook, I think it was the right cross that got him in that fight, right?
Yeah, it was a right counter right hand.
Good stuff right there. Danny, as we make the walk here for the final time, October 18th, Saturday, the Barclays Center, can stream the pay-per-view live on millions.co. What do you feel like the emotions are going to be? Like, do you think about that ahead of time? Like, what's going to be going through your head as you're walking out there?
Already, like sometimes when I'm by myself, I'll just think about it and I just get anxious. So I'm just trying my best to stay calm and just treat this like any other fight. That's the most important thing. Just treat this like all the great battles I've been in, and just make sure that I'm 100% focused for the fight. And that's the most important thing. As long as my mind is there that night and in the moment, I'm gonna be fine.
Well, we can't wait. October 18th, Danny Gonzalez is the opponent. An incredible 18-year career that you're bringing to an end. Danny, thanks for your time. We look forward to checking you out there at Barclays for one final time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.